The last Wine Wednesday of the year.
Yeah, it is. And today's show is brought to you by DeSanto Propane. They're urging you to budget your propane costs and know what you'll be paying each month with their stable propane pricing plan. They'll calculate your average usage so that you can guarantee that your tank stays full all year. They want you to enroll today, and you can call them by calling 866-766. Wait, I messed that up. 866-776-8192, extension 156. There's no time like the present to start saving money. Or you can, of course, go online to DeSantoPropane.com, and they have a contact form right there that you can enroll.
Stable propane pricing plan. Stable propane pricing plan. Stable propane pricing plan.
Yeah, for real. But, I mean, who doesn't want that right now with everything that's
Stable
going on?
propane pricing plan?
Yeah, knowing what you're going to pay each month is big, I'm sure.
With the stable propane pricing plan.
I'm not even going to try and say that, but we're so happy to have you back. Did you have a good Christmas?
I did.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's end of December already,
Sure
and we're going into a New Year's Eve weekend, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
And you put together something a little different, instead of just our normal bubblies, I feel like.
So this is a little bit of a tribute to Jim, who isn't a huge bubbly fan, but you can only do bubbly so much, too,
I can do it on New Year's.
Although I do love bubbles, and we have one on the slate just to toast out the year. But this one is like a hair of the dog hangover food pairing, whether you over imbibed or even just stayed up late, because even if I don't get a lot of sleep, I don't always feel well, and it feels similar to a hangover. So these are also mostly made with foods that you may have left over from your party before, the night before.
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
But to begin your day, it's a Bloody Mary.
Of course.
Of course. So this is made from Knapp Winery's cucumber vodka, and they use a Jimmy Loves Bloody Mary mix. So it's both straight from Knapp, and over the winter time, they actually do like Bloody Mary Sundays, and I believe that they're bringing that back too.
And this is from where you just said? From Knapp?
Sunday.
They do. Well, I'm sure they have all the fixins on the top if they do those.
So you can, and I was talking to Chef John. He's like, you could do this, this, and this. I'm like, I could. You're right. You could put sausage. You could put boiled eggs. You could put, what's on my list?
Olives?
Shrimp.
Oh, yeah.
Eggs. Bacon, whatever.
I've had it
on
all.
your skewer. You can go crazy. You could have a build your own Bloody Mary bar the next day.
Oh, yeah.
With your friends if you wanted. So
That's
this is
so
just a
good.
plain Mary Jane, pun intended, Bloody Mary with the cucumber vodka. And obviously you can make it spicier. He said that's kind of a mild kick to it.
Yeah, you
with
can taste the
Jimmy
cucumber
Loves.
vodka, too.
Yeah, I could really smell the cucumber vodka right away, and then when I tasted it, I could really taste it, which makes it a little bit more refreshing.
Yep.
For sure.
And cucumbers are healthy, so you feel like you're starting the new year good.
Yeah.
And you got the tomatoes.
You got all your vegetables, and then you add, celery, olives, whatever you
Sure.
add to your Bloody Mary.
Cucumber vodka's from Knapp.
Yeah,
The
it's
world
so
is kind
good.
of your oyster when it comes to making your little Bloody Mary skewer.
Right. Oh yeah.
Whatever you got in the fridge left over, pretty much. I've seen some crazies. They put like sliders.
I
They've
was
done really
just gonna
Bloody
say
Marys.
that.
So are we supposed to eat while we taste?
No,
or
this
these
one
are-
is just to start off.
Yeah,
right?
the Bloody Mary is just to start off. But so I was talking to Chef John about this. He kind of helped me with some of the pairings. And I was like, is there a scientific
is.
reason why we tend to gravitate towards greasy foods if we're hungover? Or the hair of the dog or what have you? So, I went to the good old Google and I looked it up. And there actually is a little bit of one. So while you sip your Bloody Mary, I just kind of want to tell you, it's interesting information, and maybe it'll come up on trivia. So the actual reason we gravitate towards the greasy foods is because alcohol promotes a neurochemical known as galanin, Galanin, which is responsible for craving fatty foods. So the alcohol
Induces that, you're saying.
induces that.
Oh, okay.
So that's why you crave that. But then it also elevates your mood. So if you're hungover and you eat that, you're craving it, you eat it, and then you feel better.
So that's why,
really the reason. Sometimes it's a placebo, but you're drinking liquids with it too,
Right.
and you're eating, and so you're feeling better. But
You know what else induces that chemical?
what?
Stable propane pricing plan.
I thought you really had a random
Yeah, I
fun
did too. I'm like,
fact. Of course, you're like, there it
Yeah.
is. But yeah, so I think
that's
whenever
serotonin that one induces.
Yeah, no,
when
that
your
makes
stable
sense.
propane prices.
it's almost like one of those things when you become of the drinking age and you start having the hangover. somehow, is it just a learned behavior from
Yeah.
all the people before you? Because you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to go grab a piece of pizza.
You need something
at
greasy
9
or a
o'clock in the
burger.
It's
morning.
human nature, you
It's
know.
human nature.
You don't know that it's the gluten.
Galanin.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
just wake up, you're
neurochemical.
like, man, I'm
Yeah.
hungry. That would be good right now.
That would be good right now.
Yeah,
I'm
I've
gonna-
always
And
done
some
that.
people like to do the hair of the dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's where your Bloody Mary comes in. But I also have 2 other foods for us to try that are paired with wines.
All right.
So the first one it's a play on Eggs Benedict. So it's a open-faced English muffin. There's a fried egg, barbecue pulled pork, and garlic aioli.
That is something.
And this is paired with Swedish Hill's Cab Franc. So maybe you had pulled pork the night before, and you generally always have eggs, although eggs are about as expensive as propane are right now.
Literally.
That's not a stable egg pricing plan.
Yeah, you're right.
So this dark red pairs really well with the Cab Franc. Or the Cab Franc pairs really well because there's the deep notes in the barbecue sauce, and the acidity cuts right through the fat. So you got
I'm
your
gonna
fatty
cut
pulled
mine.
pork. Your egg would be fresh and greasy, so you're getting that in there as well.
I just saw Jim try and eat it in one big bite, and I
Yeah.
think I'm going to have to cut mine so I don't spill it all over. But it's a sip, eat, sip.
Yeah,
and
sippy sip.
What's the sauce on the pulled pork? That you
So it's my favorite barbecue sauce. It's a local guy. It's Chef Lerman's Blackstrap Yankee barbecue
and
sauce.
the aioli that's on there?
Yep, the garlic aioli. That was from Aldi because
I love Aldi.
shout out to Aldi. They're
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. So.
This is great. And it does pair well with
If you have leftover wine from the night before, you can use an already open bottle.
Who does that?
I don't know.
2016?
Wow.
2018?
Maybe. I don't know. I can't
see.
read that far away.
2016. Cab Franc.
You got some egg right there.
As long as it's a nice dark red, that would pair really well with that deep notes of the barbecue, and it's acidic, so it'll cut through that fat. And that.
I've been
that
really
pork.
finding some great Cab Franc and Pinot Noir locally, you know, which isn't something that you would hear too much about maybe
Yeah.
even 10 years ago.
Oh, for sure.
It's great how it's kind of developed.
I am a big open-faced breakfast, eggs Benedict type girl, and I don't think I would ever have thought to do pulled pork.
Yeah, I
On an
didn't. I
egg
wouldn't
sandwich.
have either. You know, your standard eggs Benny is your English muffin, ham, egg, and hollandaise. I'm like, I can't make hollandaise, and you're not going to want to make hollandaise if you're sleepy, hungover,
True,
or what
very
have
true.
you. So this is just kind of a play on that to kind of toss together whatever you have almost.
The pulled pork is so good. It's
Yeah,
like
this
I'm
is
thinking
really good.
with the egg even too. I'm like, okay, this is delicious.
Yeah, putting an egg on everything is kind of a newer trend that everyone's jumping on. They put
Is it?
They put eggs on burgers.
Yep.
Oh
Because,
yeah.
you know, you cut into the yolk and then it drips down. You know, I'm not a fan of that personally. I'm a scrambled egg gal myself.
You're not a dippy egg girl.
I'm not a dippy egg girl, as my son calls it.
And I will stand by that. Your son is super smart for his age and
Yes.
call it a dippy egg because
Dippy
that's what
egg.
it should be. Instead of sunny side up.
Yeah.
So good. Delicious. Pairs so well together.
And now you don't have a hangover if you had one. Now you don't.
And you're starting your day again by refreshing and replenishing that alcohol that you had the night before.
Yeah.
So, hair of the dog for
Likely
real.
you woke up late, and these are like brunch foods.
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
So you don't have to have it at 8
This is
a.m.
great. This was
Good.
Swedish Hill.
The cab. The cab
Cab Franc
is
is
delicious.
really good.
So great. So, what do we
Yeah,
have
you want to hear
next?
what's next? So this is a French dip sandwich made with
Ooh.
leftover prime rib,
Oh,
paired
yeah.
with Thursty Owl dry Riesling. It's on a ciabatta roll, also from Aldi.
Sure is.
Shout out to Aldi.
Go Aldi.
So this is kind of an unorthodox pairing because generally you would pair a red meat with a red wine.
Right.
And obviously you could with this. I'm sure the Cab Franc would even taste good with this. But in this case, the acidity of the Riesling also is cutting through the fat, but the pear and the apricot of the Riesling is offsetting the blue cheese.
Oh.
Which I forgot to mention. This French dip has caramelized onions and crumbly blue cheese.
That's
in it
nice. I
as
would
well.
definitely do that all the time too.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Thirsty Owl.
Thirsty Owl dry Riesling. Yep.
of course,
2021 dry
one of my
Riesling.
favorites. I was a semi-dry a few years ago, and now I am
Yeah.
up to the Thirsty Owl dry Riesling, and it is
But
perfect.
Riesling is so fruit forward that even dry, it's not as dry as obviously that Cab Franc would be.
The sandwich is to die for too. They seem to go perfectly together.
It does, yeah. Usually, like you say, you think of seafood with white, but this Riesling goes good with the ciabatta
I think
and
Riesling
the prime rib.
goes with everything.
It probably
pretty
does.
much. It probably does.
It's hard to eat, but when I am hungover
You don't
and
care.
I'm laying in my bed, I'm shoving that in my mouth and getting it all over the bed.
Yeah,
Just,
so
just
whatever.
happens.
So
Yeah,
you heard it here first. Sydney's a slob.
only when I'm hungover.
Sure, of course.
And then I let the house get all dirty, and then you're like not hungover anymore, and you're like, all right, I got to get my life together. So this is like you said, you'll have a prime rib.
Yeah, and if you
Usually
have
around
leftovers.
holidays, and you
Yeah.
had the leftovers. Think of making a prime rib sandwich and pairing it with some wine.
You know, you could probably combine these two foods and use the shaved prime rib instead of the pulled pork on like a fried egg sandwich.
Sure.
You know?
I've done that
mix and
before. Steak and eggs all day,
yeah,
every day.
exactly.
And I'm doing that,
Yep.
and I am loving every bit of it.
Yeah, both these sandwiches are a really nice treat here.
These are so good. Do you guys have many events going on? Like, do a lot of the wineries have like New Year's Eve events or not really?
So Buttonwood Grove, during New Year's
course.
Eve, during the day, they're doing a sparkling flight experience. And,
Oh.
and they have a handful of different sparkling wines and pet nats that you can go. It is a reservation event, but they're pairing each of those with a different food to try for New Year's Eve.
So Buttonwood is like, start your day early and go and do this
Sure.
cool bubbly experience
Yep.
pretty much.
Reservation is still available?
I believe so. I should have checked that. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, you should have checked that, but
I'm
that's okay.
sorry.
We can go right onto your website or their
Yep,
website.
our website or their website. It's posted. My website will lead them to your website.
Of course.
Or-
What a solid Riesling. This
Oh,
is.
absolutely.
Like,
Yep.
Always has been. It's
Yep.
always a staple in my house. I have Thirsty Owl in there
yeah,
constantly.
I mean, if you were able to have guests come from out of town and they're like, well, we're in Finger Lakes wine country, it's like the best you got. You know, you're going to give them a Riesling, and I think this would be a contender for one that you'd want to have them taste.
Of course, for sure. Thirsty Owl is like
Jim
I said,
Story's still singing out there?
He's slinging wine. I don't know if he's singing.
No, every time I go to the tasting room, he'll sing for you if you ask
Well,
him.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's still there. He was dressed up as him and Bobby McShane. One of them was Santa and one of them was an elf right before
Aw.
Christmas. I can't remember which was which. But yeah, he's still out there behind the counter.
that's awesome. So we have. Oh well, this is. We are like so. I would have to say, maybe it's you going into a new year. You were so ahead of schedule, so on time, so getting through this quick already. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Well, I
Sometimes
didn't want to panic and stress and
That's no way to
and then
end
we
the
get
year.
here early and I'm like, well, this is stressful. Just waiting.
I'm just waiting. So it's been with Katherine Chase now, what, 3 years?
3 years.
It's
yeah.
been over 3 years. We're going into a new year.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll have plenty of new ideas up your
Yep,
sleeve.
I still have a few guests that have to come on. You
Yeah.
haven't met all of my wineries yet.
Right.
So there's still
Isn't
a
that
few-
crazy?
That's
I
our
know.
New Year's resolution.
Yep.
To get
Was
more
to meet-
guests from
Oh yeah,
the,
I have a few more, and then I know some
local
others are eager to
wineries.
come back on, but I want to cycle through everybody first.
Of course.
You know, we had a hint from on a Zoom that they were doing some really cool stuff.
They
we'll
always
have to
are.
get Phil on here to just talk about it. It'll sound better from his mouth than
Yeah,
mine.
that would be great.
And we'll get the rest on there too, and sprinkle some fun in between.
Awesome. Are you doing anything fun and exciting this New Year's?
Probably not.
No, you know. Yeah, I feel like over the years, I
Yeah.
remember you keep it kind of casual.
Yeah, pretty casual. Yeah.
And usually I go all out and we're at the hotel and we're
Yeah.
somewhere watching a band and stuff. And my family actually this year is doing like a more close knit little, I would not say private party, but they thought to throw in a fun little thing like, you have to have a ticket. You have to have a ticket to come in. And I was like, okay, this is going to be different. We're going to try it out for a year and
Sure.
see how we like it or not. If not, we'll go back to the hotel life. What do you do on New Year's?
it's different. Thought about maybe going out to dinner somewhere. And then we thought about maybe hosting like some our friends, which I think that's kind of where we're leaning. But I mean, time's running out, right?
Yeah, I'd say you should probably have that figured out.
Yeah, New Year's
No.
Eve is Saturday night.
Yeah,
Is
today's
that when
a
it
Wednesday.
is?
Yeah.
Wow.
Then one of my friends sent me there's tickets available for Fish at Madison Square Garden,
Oh,
Oh,
That's
I saw
extreme.
somebody post tickets if you're looking for them.
oh.
Well, I don't know if they'll be
I
able to
didn't know
pull
they were
that
that
one
far
off,
away.
but
Why not? You could do it. Take a train. You know, some people forget to take the train into the
Well, I'd
city,
probably
make it
drive.
Yeah, you can
easy.
take the Amtrak from Syracuse in, but it actually takes longer because I've done it. It's like a 7-hour train ride.
No way.
Because you have and you have to
Stop
drive
it.
the hour to Syracuse, and then you go Albany and down. Versus from here, you would go through Ithaca, Binghamton, Pennsylvania.
So I've
So
never done it. I've
But
always wanted
it's so
to.
casual. There's a little concession cart on the train.
Yeah, that's
I don't work
cute.
for Amtrak, but
Yeah.
but it is
Sponsor me.
it is a nice way to just leisurely drive into the city, and then you don't have to deal with parking
Of course.
because you get
Excellent.
right out. I'm drawing a blank on the train station's name. Right in
Grand
Manhattan.
Central Station.
No, it's I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank right now.
That's
but-
okay. You don't work for them.
But you're right there in Manhattan, and that's where everything is. So
That's pretty
And
nice.
the parking is the worst, and it's like
course.
$60 a day.
See, I think
So
I would do that.
It's easier just to not drive in, and you can park your car at the Amtrak for $8.
Wow. You're like making me want to jump on the train like today.
Go see fish in Madison Square Garden.
There you go.
For sure. Okay, we're going into the new year too. Have you already had to have like a bunch of meetings to plan out all your events that you guys have?
Are the dates set for
Yeah,
the
we
2023
have dates
events?
set. Those are on our website. Our next event is February 11th. It is the Sweet Treats for Your Sweetheart
I
that we
remember that.
introduced last year. Yep, it's a couples Valentine's event, so we're doing that again. And then we have Bacon on Lake again in March. A new event, semi-new. We did it in 2018 when we turned 35. This year we turned 40, so we're bringing this event back. It's Celebrunch.
Ooh.
So it's a brunch-themed event.
Can't go wrong with that.
No. Then
You have-
classic wine and herb and holiday shopping spree.
Do you know when the Celebrunch will
April
be?
1st and 2nd.
Wow. See,
Yeah.
that's crazy. They have it all planned out already for 2023.
Got a plan.
You have to. Yeah.
I'm walking in there like a chicken with my head cut off, like what's gonna come?
Oh yeah,
for this
personally
year?
it's different, but professionally we have our dates set.
Yeah, of course. Well, which is great. And you do so much for that. And people should really realize how much you do for all of the wineries that are involved. It's a lot of work and you make it seem effortless.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, we see the background of it maybe and the chaos
Sure.
that it causes, but people on the forefront, they're like, all right, this
Yeah.
is an awesome event. And they come year after year. which is
Overall, this year, 2022, was a successful year for local wineries.
I'd say so. I know Harvest was, what's the word I'm looking for? Mediocre.
Not a lot
their
of
crops
quantity,
were
but
light.
good quality, right?
Yeah, good
Low
quality,
quantity,
but low
right.
crop.
So there'd be good wine.
Yes.
Yes.
And last year there was plentiful. So, and
Yeah.
it
Right.
alternates every year.
Sure.
course.
And I know there was harvest stress at first because that's kind of what the year culminates to is harvest
But
for
foot
them.
traffic
but
at
it
the
ended really
wineries
well.
all
Foot
year?
traffic is pretty steady. It's pretty good.
Coming off the pandemic.
Yeah. We can always use more visitors. Always, always. You can never not use more visitors.
Right.
Of course.
Of course. But
What was your favorite part? If you had to think back, just work, we're talking,
Oh,
work
just work.
related. What was your favorite part of 2022? Put you right on the spot.
yeah, I know. You could have warned me about this question. I could answer it personally. Probably just doing the events and when they're successful, seeing when you sold your last ticket.
Yeah,
And you're like, yes, it's a sellout event. Because that feels good,
of course.
you know?
After all the hard work that you put into
Yeah.
it. Let's see. Let's throw in your personal one. What was your favorite personal one?
I saw Lady Gaga and Elton John this year.
Oh, wow. I am so
Yeah.
jealous of the Elton John one.
And it was my first reggae festival, which was awesome too.
remember
So I had a
that.
ton
Yep.
of music.
Yeah.
But I'd seen Elton John once before, and he came back to Syracuse, so we went again.
Mm-hmm.
My mom got the ticket, and she is so crazy. We were 18 rows away
Oh, wow.
from
Oh,
Elton John.
wow.
Like,
In
you
the
could
Carrier
see-
Dome?
Yeah,
Or the JMA
it's called something
Wireless
else now.
Zone,
Yeah,
yeah.
at the Carrier Dome. Yeah,
Whatever it's called.
And then Lady Gaga we saw in Fenway in Boston.
So you were like, yeah, you're like looking back on your Snapchat memories, and it's like you listen to a lot of
Yeah.
music, you know,
And
those
she's
little
got
things.
Shania tickets for 23.
Are you
Because she's
kidding me?
at in Syracuse.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
bought Shania tickets right away.
I saw that, and I
So-
think it already sold
Oh,
out.
it sold out fast.
And I was like, you know, by the time I sent it to my group, I was like, maybe we should do this. Then it was like, all right, these are gone.
She's in Buffalo now. She just announced.
Oh,
So you can try that
oh,
one.
look at you.
And I
She
now
just
work
knows-
for Amtrak, the Wine Trail, and Shania Twain.
and all the concert
and all the
venues.
concerts.
What
But-
about you, Jim? Do you have a favorite moment?
Of the year for me personally?
Yeah.
Well, it's been a real crazy year.
Yeah, it has
This
you looking
year
back
has
at it.
been nuts.
Especially, look where we're sitting now. This didn't exist
Aw,
a year ago
yeah.
in this new studio.
Love the new studio.
Yeah, no, I did. I got a lot of projects accomplished around my house.
That's good.
Your honey-do list got shorter?
Well, I make my own list. I take pride in my home. I don't need a list from my wife.
I have a honey-do list, and you're making me want to go pull it out and see how much we have got done in the last year. Which my kitchen is actually like finally complete.
Nice.
So I guess I'm going to have to say, without having to think of all the million other things that went on this year, like that's a big one because
Yeah.
I'm so excited to move forward in 2023 and be able to host things inside my house because I used to be like, I'll have parties outside. I have a great outside space, but you're not allowed to go into my house because it's a mess and not how I want it to be.
Sure.
It takes time being a homeowner.
Oh, yeah.
But
2023 is the year that my daughter will be a senior in high school come September.
ugh, crazy.
So, yeah, that is kind of crazy. That's ahead for 2023.
Yeah, that's a good goal to make sure, she graduates.
I think she's on track, yeah.
We have no problem with that. She's a smart little cookie. Yeah, that's crazy. It's great. But yeah, every time you've come in this year, you've amazed us with your pairings because they always, you think like, okay, she's
What was your
crazy.
favorite episode of FLX Weekly, your Wine Wednesday? Do you
Oh,
remember any?
geez.
It's hard to
Of
even
cour-
remember
He
all
goes,
of
do you
them."
remember any? Yeah. What was the one? Oh, the one with just recently. Oh, I just looked into the light. It's so bright. I can't see your face. The
That's my
soup.
smile.
You had this soup.
White chicken chili soup
Yeah.
was
There
one
was
of
a
the...
chicken chili soup.
Yeah,
It was
that-
this tortellini
We started
soup,
talking about
probably,
soup
right?
season. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after
We had two
that,
soups.
after the
soups.
chicken torta or the sausage tortellini,
There
was
was a
it?
sausage tortellini. There was a white chicken chili in the beginning of the year
Yeah, I
when
loved
I was
that.
doing the
That was
wine and
around
herb event.
Valentine's Day too.
Yep.
We did a
and
good
then
one.
there was also
The
a
bacon.
Cajun chicken corn chowder.
Uh-huh. The
Yeah.
bacon episode we had,
That-
might have been end of February.
That bacon
Yeah.
jam.
Yep, end
Yeah.
of
Still
February.
an amazing
Yeah.
one. But the soup that you made and paired it with that wine, it went so well that I went and I got the wine and I made that soup like 3 weeks in a row.
Good.
It
I was thinking
so
about making
good.
it for dinner tonight.
You should.
So for 2023, I think at least one episode we should provide the food and the wine.
Yeah, we did say that, and Felicia was on board
I was like,
with
I've
that
heard
too.
this before.
Yeah.
Well, between the three of us, we could each bring one
Okay.
thing
Oh,
and pair
boy.
it with one wine. We'll sign you the wine, and then you make the pairing with the wine.
Yeah, you can she give us any guidance?
Well, they got to be Hugo Lake Wine
I should be
Trail
able to
wines.
give you guidance. So,
Yeah.
of some
She can
sort.
pick the wines.
I picked the wine.
Okay, that'll be fun. Yeah, we need to come up with some fun, exciting ones. So you pick the wine, and we will do the cooking, which I do have a brand new kitchen, so I better
Right.
learn
so
how to
she
cook.
should be able to do it.
Yeah.
She just said.
Yeah, I better get onto my cooking.
So
But
we're supposed
we
to
have-
toast?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have one last
And
one.
this
of
one
course.
is,
This is
the
Buttonwood
bubbly
Grove
Riesling from
Sparkling
Buttonwood.
Riesling.
Oh, that's perfect. I wasn't sure where it was going to be coming from because you've brought on a few. I don't think we had this one before.
I don't know. It's hard to remember.
It's been years. Back in our day, in the beginning,
Yeah.
you probably did, but
But
yeah.
we have to be able to toast out 22, toast in 23. The wine trail turns 40.
So
Happy
excited.
40th
Wine Trail
birthday,
turns
Wine
40.
Trail, to America's oldest
Yeah.
wine trail.
Yeah, we're so lucky to be partnered with you guys because we have got so many good foods and so many good wines thanks to you. I am a connoisseur now. Cheers.
Good.
Any last parting words? Oh, that is really delicious. That is like,
I love bubbles.
Yeah, it's not,
it's not too bubbly
and
either.
it's not too like tinty and metallic, like which a
Like
lot
a
of
normal?
bubblies or prosecco's.
Yeah, I know what you're describing.
Yeah, this
sure.
is more. It's good.
I think it's the
Fruity.
method in which it was made, probably.
How do you know that method?
This, I'm guessing that this one is just like the carbonated method, kind
Oh.
of the way they make sodas or seltzer waters and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the tint that you're kind of talking about, that metallic, is when they do the full champagne method
Sure.
champenois. When you have all
Ooh.
the extra yeast steps and stuff that you might.
So I learned two things on this show today. The alcohol tip with the something that starts with a G. I
Galanin?
don't. Yeah, I don't remember the word, but I know that
That's
like
the neurochemical, and that's why when you're drinking, you want French fries or Taco Bell or whatever, because
Tater
you want
tots.
fatty, greasy foods. Because
Meat craving.
chemical, it's not your fault. It's
yeah,
not your fault.
that's what I learned. Yeah, garbage plate. It's not
Yep.
my fault.
It's not your fault.
Thank you for that. And that word that you just said, I really like. Say it again. The champagne one.
Method champenois.
Woo, fancy. Method
And my Timothy
champenois.
Charlotte or whatever his name is.
And I learned from this show that, especially, if you're planning your household finances into 2023, stable propane pricing
Pricing.
plans from DeSanto Propane can be a big help.
And the
It's
more you
worth
save
it.
on propane, the more you can buy on wine.
I was just
That's
gonna
right.
say,
And wine keeps you warm too.
it sure does. I call that the alcohol blanket, and I'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let me see what the weather's like for New Year's Eve. If we're gonna walk to the ball, I need to
It's
make
supposed
sure.
to be like 50 this weekend.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
you're
warming
right.
up.
It's
Everything's
a
gonna
drastic
melt.
different from the negative 8 we had last
So you
weekend.
won't need much.
54
of a-
degrees Friday.
Wow. Oh, you know what that means though. And Katherine Chase
Mud.
being a new homeowner or a new puppy owner, you get to deal with the slosh and the
muddy
nastiness when you take
footprints.
them out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pain in the butt.
Got a
But
new
we
puppy?
need to end it. She did.
What's her name?
Her name is Luna. She's a 4-month-old golden retriever.
And
Oh,
she's
wow.
perfect. Like a perfect
She's a
puppy.
really good girl. She's super chill. Like, I know everyone probably says that, but everyone is actually really surprised. They're like, she's not wiggly like puppies usually are.
Yeah.
She's just so chill.
Laid back. You got lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than when she gets the zoomies, of course. But every
Oh.
dog gets the zoomies.
When you love the zoomies, you can't go wrong with the zoomies. So you're gonna have to start taking your dog to the dog pet friendly events on the wine trail.
All the wineries are pet friendly.
Yeah.
I've taken her to the wineries.
Of course. So she's got to get acclimated really quick.
Oh yeah, she's already made friends.
She's got to be a winery dog, pretty
Yeah.
much, and she can hang out with a donkey.
She gets so offended if someone doesn't pet her. She actually tried to play with a miniature horse at Swedish Hill.
Oh.
Because they're acclimated to animals, and she was trying to play with the horse.
Oh my goodness, that's a little scary.
Yeah.
But
Well-
yeah, just like that, guys, it's already.
Yeah,
like,
to everybody that's watched us throughout the year, Happy New Year, best of luck in 2023,
us.
best wishes. Yeah, cheers to you, cheers
Cheers.
to us.
We'll see you next year.
Yeah.
Well, I had to say it.
Like your lame third grade teacher always
Yeah,
said. See you next year.
Yeah. Cheers to us, Cayuga Lake Wine Trail, and just like that, it's already time for us to go. So if you did enjoy the show, you can click like, you can share with your friends, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be back next year, and until then, have a great weekend here in the Finger Lakes, a New Year's Eve weekend. Cheers.
Finger Lakes Wine